Your spring allergies getting worse every year. Science finally knows why it is happening, and it has nothing to do with your immune system being weaker. You know I love the data. Let's go right into what the data says. There is a study that was published in PNAS, a 2021 study. In that study, it shows, by the way, PNAS is one of the most prestigious scientific journals out there. In this study, it found that pollen seasons in North America are now 20 days longer than they were in the 1990s, and that the pollen itself contains 21% more allergen load than it did 3 decades ago. 20 more days of pollen every single year. I'm going to tell you why this is happening. I just don't want you to know that it's happening. I want you to understand the why. With climate change and the temperature rising, two things happen simultaneously. The first thing is that the plants are flowering earlier and longer. And the second thing that is happening is that the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere with the climate change is making one flower produce more pollens, and it is also making the pollen that is produced, that is the more pollen that is produced by a flower, to be more potent as an allergen. And so World Health Organization has now recognized climate change as the direct driver of the rising global allergy and asthma rates. So when you say that your allergies seem like they are worse than it used to be 10 years ago or a few years ago, you're not being dramatic, you are right, because science confirms it. However, there is a part that most allergy contents will not cover, and that is why your own personal reaction to this pollen seems to be getting more intense with every passing season. 3 biological mechanisms at work. Number 1 is your immune sensitization. Every time your immune system encounters a new allergen, it would amplify your IgE response. Of note, your IgE is the antibody that is responsible for allergies. So each season, your immune system essentially gets better on reacting, which means that your symptoms can escalate year on year even if the pollen count remains the same. Number 2 is an extended pollen season, which automatically means an extended immune activation period for you. A longer pollen season means that your immune system stays alert for a longer time, and that can lead to fatigue, brain fog, and even disrupted sleep. These are all part of the systemic inflammatory response that your body has to mount every allergy season. So number 3, which is the part that surprises people the most, is that air pollution worsens it. Ozone, the diesel, all these destroy the lining, the mucous lining of your respiratory tract. And when your airway lining is damaged, it makes it easier for allergens like pollen to penetrate and trigger a stronger reaction than would in somebody who is healthy. So if you live in or close to a city, your environment is fighting against you in 2 ways. On to how to deal with these seasonal allergies. I am talking evidence-based, physician-recommended strategies. I'm not giving you generic advice here. Number 1, which is the most important thing I will be saying in this video, is start your antihistamines 2 weeks before the allergy season begins, not when your symptoms start. 2 weeks before. Your antihistamine medication works by blocking histamine receptors, and it works best when you do not have histamine flooding those receptors. So pre-treating before the pollen count rises will prevent that histamine buildup and dramatically reduce the severity of your symptoms throughout the entire season. Number 2 is going with a second generation antihistamine. Your primary care provider can always make this decision for you. The second generation antihistamines are better because they will make you feel drowsy, and you can use them long term, and they're usually once daily dosing. Number 3, if your symptoms are primarily nasal, more like nasal congestion, runny nose, or post-nasal drips, then you should consider using the intranasal corticosteroids. They're usually over the counter. These ones are more superior to using only the oral antihistamines alone. Make sure to use them consistently because it takes about 1 to 2 weeks for them to get into full effect. Number 4 is to track your pollen count. You can use pollen.com or your local weather app on days where you expect to have high pollen, then you want to have your windows closed. Avoid outdoor exercises in the morning when the counts peak, and put on sunglasses when you go outside. And yes, sunglasses, because you don't want the pollen in your eyes. Number 5 is take a shower at night before going to bed, not in the morning, because pollen accumulates in your hair and in your skin, and going to bed after taking a shower means that you spend about 7 to 8 hours with pollen pressed against your face and going into your airways. Sadly, your allergies are not going to get better because the seasons are getting longer and the pollen is getting stronger. But you have the science and you have the strategy. Start your antihistamines 2 weeks before your symptoms start. Add a nasal steroid if your symptoms are more nasal. Take a shower at night and not only in the morning. Track your pollen count. This is evidence-based allergy management. If this video helped you, click that subscribe button because this is the standard of every single video on this channel. Once again, I am Dr. ChiChi and this is Everyday Health MD, where I share health education content. Share this with somebody whose allergy seems to be getting worse so that they know why and how to tackle it. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.